When was the last time you were really actually scared to tell a story? You wanted to tackle, you felt it was important to tackle, but you were also pretty nervous about it.
Working in network sitcom arenas, like whenever you decide to depart from the norm and tell a story that's not typical, I think you're always a little bit nervous. You know, like you only have 22 minutes, not even like 21:30 to tell a story. So you want to do the material justice and the area justice, but you also want to make it funny. You also want to not be preachy. So you start to get nervous about that, but it's an excited nervous, you know, because you're like, I have this opportunity. I want to tell the story. I want to make sure I get it exactly right.
You were supposed to go out there and promote the restaurant, not make a fool out of yourself.
What you talking about, woman? You love my impressions. That was Arnold.
Not on television.
What's the difference?
Name one Chinese person on TV.
Pat Morita.
Japanese, and you know it.
What's your point?
We don't get opportunities to be on TV. That's why when we do, we need to present our best face.
Were there points earlier in your careers where you felt either pigeonholed or you were acting so that you were not pigeonholed as writers?
I was the only woman in the room a lot of times, so I felt like, you know, people looked at me for like the wife joke or like this daughter joke, you know, like, what do you think? Or like, and I'd be like, I don't like it. But, you know, I wrote on American Dad, which was a cartoon. You know, I've had like a sort of diverse background. So I've written for people and for cartoons and for voiceovers. But for me, it was just like the sort of the female voice. One time there were two of us on a show, and like that was like, you know, heaven had opened up where they could like split us into two rooms, but we never got to work together. Because it was like, we need one in here and one in here.
Well, someone has to do the wife jokes.
Stunt casting. Are you guys for it or against it?
This year, we wrote into the like DNA of our show that the main little kid loves Shaq. And our show takes place in the mid-90s. And we were able to cast Shaq. And that's the only time. But I feel like that's perfect.
It's connected.
He's in Orlando.
Perfect.
It's connected.
That's
We set it
connected.
up for
Perfect.
like a season, basically. He was talking about Shaq and how much. And the fact that we actually, because I went down that road, I'm like, who are we really going to get? Like, we were going to want Shaq, and then we're going to, like...
But I would also argue, and having seen that episode, you crafted a very, very complicated with the door behind the door, behind the door, behind the door, which... Even if you remove Shaq from that idea, that was a really funny idea about car dealerships.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was almost like a game of death, Bruce Lee, like getting to the next room, getting to the next room.
Big boss?
Yes, who's the big boss?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was Shaq and it worked, but even if Shaq had never worked, that idea stood on itself. And that's the problem.
Right.
When the idea doesn't stand on itself.
And that's what we fought for, because they were like, well, if we have Shaq, let's put him in more. You know what I mean? It's always like more. It's like, are we really just going to have him in one scene?
In general, there's a few contemporary, I think on Friends it actually did work. I mean, they were so big. But like when Britney Spears did How I Met Your Mother, that might have saved that show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like
and they reference that all the time, because my same studio, 20th Century Fox, did How I Met Your Mother, and they always still talk about that Britney Spears moment.
As though it was a huge success.
A huge success, but what they fail to mention is that Britney Spears at that time was going through like this very public meltdown.
Yes.
Like it wasn't just, she was just Britney Spears existing in the world. Like
People were excited to see if she was ambulatory.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was the exact right thing at the right moment to get people to watch, because she was just, you know, dominating every media outlet.
It wasn't just the name. It wasn't just the big name insert here.
But I think, I think it did do that show a lot of good.
Are there characters on television now or historically that you identify with?
I mean, this is going to sound real weird, but when I was a little kid, the Iron Sheik was really big in our house. He was a wrestler in the WWF, and he was from Iran. And he would like be very his like shoes were like the colors of the Iranian flag, and that was a big deal. I mean, not to say like I saw myself in the Iron Sheik, but our whole family would gather around the TV on Saturday and watch the Iron Sheik wrestle, and he was the bad guy. So everyone's like booing him and like cheering like whoever he's fighting, and then it was the opposite in our house. I had the little like standee, like the stretch. Anyway, it's random.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more videos from The Hollywood Reporter.
We couldn't even, when we started the show, couldn't say nipple.
No,
We couldn't say nipple. We ended up saying nipular. Because they wouldn't let us say nipple.
Like your nipulars are showing? Like that kind of thing?
Not quite.
Okay.